All right, let's start with another passer being passive aggressive. It's an annual rite of passage. We talked about this in passing a few months ago, I feel like, but as the facts and circumstances change, so should our opinions. Justin Fields, whose career in Chicago has been on the clock ever since the Bears secured the rights to the #1 overall pick, and presumably USC's Caleb Williams. He did that thing that kids do, not even just kids. I'm gonna stop saying that. They're kids. Like, we all on Instagram. You know, we ain't that old. We ain't on Instagram. Do that thing that people do.
Do you do that thing?
Unfollow people? Do I unfollow people? No. Well, first of all, nobody gives two shits about who I follow. The people who I follow don't give enough of a shit about me for them to notice if I unfollow them. That's number one. I'm not that important for people to take notice and to be tracking who I'm following. Number two, hypothetically speaking, let's say I were that important to where people cared who I followed or unfollowed. I don't do that. I will simply use the feature that allows you to mute people's accounts. So you can still be following those people, not called. No, it's not, because they don't know. They don't know.
Because they don't know. That's worse. What did I do?
They don't know anything. They don't know that you have muted their account, that their stories and their posts will no longer. No. They can still message me. No. Okay, Michael. So just rest assured, I have not muted your account. So like, if I had muted your account and you posted something, you wouldn't know whether I saw it or not. You wouldn't know whether I viewed it or not. But if you message me, I still get the message. So it's an even softer passive-aggressive way, quite frankly, I'm owning it, of unfollowing somebody. It's a less confrontational way of unfollowing somebody, as
That's
confrontational as unfollowing can be. But what's the problem with that?
At least unfollowing is. Yeah, unfollowing is actually get right there.
More direct?
We got a problem. Direct? Oh, we got a problem. I'm letting you know we got a problem.
Even though unfollowing is not direct. It's, like I said, it's passive aggressive. It's sending a message without actually sending a message. This is a hell of a rabbit hole. But okay, so Justin Fields unfollowed the Bears. I assume at some point he'll explain it away as just Instagram maintenance, the same way Kyler Murray did. I remember others have done. It's like, I was just, cleaning out my, my Instagram feed or whatever. Anyway, he's probably going to be an ex-Chicago Bear sooner rather than later. You had a cup of coffee in Chicago. You know that town. You know that organization. Even though obviously it's turned over probably several times since you were in Chicago. We all know the history of that position in that organization. So before we get to Justin Fields' future, let's stay in the present. Like, what's the Bears' move here? My former franchise mode partner in crime. What's the move here for the Bears? Is it to stay the course with a talented quarterback who, while he may have flaws and may still have room for development, I think in fairness, hasn't always had the best supporting cast? Or do they hit the reset button again, franchise mode, at this position and trade Justin Fields so that they can reset the rookie contract at quarterback with Caleb Williams, presumably, and build around him? Like, you're running the Bears, not even Kevin Warren, not even team president, who we'll get to my man Kevin Warren in a second. But you're Ryan Poles, you're running the Bears. First, what is your move at quarterback? Let's start there.
Man, it's a fascinating position to be in, isn't it? Like, going back to everybody can relate to it now, because I know, and we'll talk about this one day. I know not today, but the numbers. You see the numbers that went up in the NFL, the betting in the NFL. Under that betting umbrella is fantasy football and all of these fantasy team building apparatuses that you have out there. I think people are really into, hey, what would you do? This whole fantasy of what would you do if you were charged with building a team. So that's where the Bears are right now, a beautiful position, even though Justin Fields unfollowed them. So they have Justin Fields, who is a first-round quarterback who has some talent. We agree on that. He's talented. How talented is up for debate. But he's a talented guy. You've got him under contract. You don't have to do anything. And you made the trade of all trades with the Carolina Panthers. There's no way in hell they thought when they traded with you last year that they were trading the number 1 overall pick. So you got Justin Fields, you got the number 1 overall pick, and you have another top 10 pick. So I would be tempted. Yeah. This is what I'd be tempted to do. I know Chicago, and I know their history with quarterbacks, and I understand the critics of Justin Fields because you can't just say he didn't have any help. Well, he did have DJ Moore.
Well, this year, but not until this year. And he hasn't always had a great offensive line.
But judge him on this year, though.
Okay, sure.
But judge him on what he's been working with.
Sure.
And at times,
is Luke Getsy considered an offensive mastermind? Okay, there's a lot of different. If you are so inclined, that's all I'm saying, Michael. There's a lot of reasons to think that Justin Fields has more potential than he's been able to show in Chicago.
Yeah, that's true. This is the only way I would draft Caleb Williams. See, it's not a no-brainer for me. The only way I draft Caleb Williams is if I'm sitting down with my brain trust, however big that is for Ryan Poles and the Bears, whether it's 4 people, 8, you bring the whole team in. You need more people. We don't believe your scouting reports. You need more people. You bring them all in. And if everybody says Justin Fields is the best quarterback I've seen in 10 years, or Justin Fields is so much better than Caleb. Caleb Williams is so much better than Justin Fields. I should say. I misspoke. I meant Caleb, but I said Justin.
Gotcha.
If those guys say Caleb Williams is the best thing we've seen and he's clearly better than Justin Fields, okay, you draft him. If there's any kind of wavering, sorry, I'm staying with Justin Fields. I'm going to pick the best player at number 1. It might be Marvin Harrison. I ain't trading. I'm taking the best player at 1. I'm taking the best player at 9. I'm good. I got cap space. I've drafted 2 of the top 10 players in this draft. We're going. We're building something. I'd be inclined to do that. I really would. I'd be inclined to stick with Justin Fields and build around him. Build something great around him.
I'm inclined to dust off the old PlayStation 5 and fire up franchise mode and do it my damn self. We're going to have to settle for this Dynasty League that I pulled you in. All right, so we're very similar in how we would approach this, which doesn't surprise me because we think very similarly when it comes to team construction. By the way, there was a report that the Bears, their plan at quarterback they would have a plan at quarterback, I believe, next week. It would crystallize whether it becomes public or not. I mean, they probably won't let everybody know what their plan is, but they will have a plan at quarterback. What I would do if I were in the big chair is similar. I would keep Justin Fields, and I'll explain why in a second. But I would auction off this number 1 pick, and I'll explain why after I explain why I keep Justin Fields. Even if Caleb Williams has the potential to be the next Patrick Mahomes. Even if Caleb Williams is the best prospect in years, there are no guarantees, none. And instead of trying to get the next Patrick Mahomes, I would look at his counterpart in the Super Bowl, and that would be my model. My model would be Brock Purdy. Not saying that you wait until the last pick of the draft to get your quarterback, but my model is San Francisco because I think that's the model that is more sustainable and more realistic and gives you better odds of success at quarterback than thinking this is the quarterback that will solve all our problems that we've had since Sid Luckman. The reason I say that is, like, again, I'm one of these, call me a Justin Fields apologist. I feel like Fields hasn't had enough time because we don't give young quarterbacks time. And I don't think he's been in the right situation, whether it's play calling, whether it's personnel, whatever it is, injury or his own faults that he can develop out of. I don't think we've seen the best of Justin Fields yet. Now, I get the financial aspect, but I'm putting that to the side. I'm getting the idea of like, we're coming up on extension time for him very soon. Are we certain we want to give him a mega contract, whereas we could reset with a rookie contract with a new quarterback. But you bring in Caleb Williams, and if your infrastructure isn't what it needs to be, the best prospect in a generation may not be successful. Whereas with the right infrastructure, not saying anybody could take you to the promised land, but look, the Chiefs, for all the talk about Patrick Mahomes, and maybe he'd have been great wherever he'd have gone, maybe. And we could say that about the GOAT that he's chasing in Tom Brady. Maybe Tom Brady just had something in him that nobody saw until pick 199, where he'd have been great wherever he went. Maybe Montana would have been great somewhere else. You know?
Nope.
Right. This is all rhetorical, what I'm saying. I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah.
I know.
So we're here. Because it's like, no, like, the Chiefs were ready for a Patrick Mahomes. From a coaching, organizational, and supporting cast standpoint, they were ready for Patrick Mahomes to flourish. The Bears have spent the last several years, Ryan Poles inherited a Bear cupboard. He has stocked the cupboard, and they've spent the last couple of years setting themselves up, preparing themselves for a quarterback, preparing a table for a quarterback, right? Let Justin Fields eat and take that number one pick and let it keep appreciating with value, okay? This is some guns and butter stuff right here. Let it appreciate with value and like let that thing keep producing more and more assets. I auction it off, even if it's the Commanders who are desperate in theory. I know they're not the same old Commanders, but they probably love, it seems like, to bring Caleb Williams home to the DMV. Even if it's the Commanders or anybody else that wants to come up for the number one pick. Flip that thing and have that cupboard so stocked, so loaded for bear into the future where there's Justin Fields or the next quarterback. Because this time a year ago, Michael, wasn't nobody predicting. And I know they're not the same prospect. But nobody thought that Bryce Young would struggle the way he did. Nobody thought that Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers would flame out and that entire organization would be blown up after 1 year. Nobody thought
After 1 year, yeah.
After 1 year, which shows that no quarterback is impervious to his circumstances. So for me, I keep building the entire team, making it as strong as possible for the QB. And if Fields shows that he's not the guy, okay, well, the next guy has a better chance of success because of what you've done with these number one overall picks each of the last 2 years. They can set themselves up for generations of Chicago Bears fans if they play this right at number one. So I'm with you. I keep Fields, but I trade the number one pick. And I let somebody else think that Caleb Williams is a savior.
Yeah, okay, trading the number one pick, I understand it. I just think sometimes you can get too cute with that. So I wonder how I want the asset. I want to flip the asset.
You don't want to pass on the next Mahomes
right,
or the next
I don't
Randy
care about
Moss.
Because I've already made the decision that Justin Fields. I've planted my flag here.
You have, yes.
So let's plant the flag, and Justin Fields is our guy. He's the guy. So if he's the next Mahomes, all right, so be it. All right, next Mahomes. That ain't happening. There ain't no next Mahomes, but okay.
Yeah, right.
Not yet.
Hey, look.
Not yet.
Hey, look, he is not you're right. He's not a consensus. You said this earlier.
Yeah.
I just want to reiterate what you said. Not everybody is sold on Caleb Williams as a can't-miss prospect.
Right. And so you've got that number one pick, and you got 9. I want to get to the point, all right, if I'm convinced, if Washington comes up and just go from 2 to 1, and that's going to give me another first rounder, sure. If New England wants to come up 3 to 1, another first rounder and other picks, sure. I'm not going too far away out of the top. I need to come away with, I need Marvin Harrison, okay? I'm just going to point out, I need the best player in the draft, and that's Marvin Harrison. I think he's better than all of them. So you take Marvin Harrison Jr., you got DJ Moore, you got Justin Fields, and you still have number 9. Get yourself a tackle. Yeah. It's a deep tackle draft, according to the experts.
I'm only chuckling because I just hear OH. I'm just chuckling.
No.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm not arguing with you.
I'm the same guy who told you last year, who the best player was in the draft. I tried to tell you. I tried to learn you something last year. Told you when you had your little
you were on the Stroud train.
No. Let me call you out here. Let me call you. You had your one-on-one interview with Bryce Young. Oh yeah, you did. You did a one-on-one interview with Bryce Young.
I did.
You were like, ooh,
okay.
I guarantee you that this dude's gonna be successful. Oh, you love Bryce Young.
I did.
You loved him. Oh yeah.
Okay. No, I did. I do. But you know what? Okay.
My man, Michael Smith, and y'all were talking about movies. Y'all talking about Marvel.
No. But what I said on this program, okay, I said that C.J. Stroud would be the best of the big three quarterbacks. I said that after you, my friend, built the C.J. Stroud bus. So I'm giving you that. Okay. But I am on record. Okay. We do not part company. We did not part company. This is not revisionist history. But I am giving you credit for gassing up, if not building, that C.J. Stroud bus. Continue. Marvin Harrison. You don't want to lose Marvin Harrison.
No, I don't want to lose him. And so this is part of the rebuild. You talk about loaded for bears. Loaded for bears. Okay, we're loaded for bears. The Bears. And so,
of course.
Look, you got Marvin. Yeah, it's right there. Wasn't it? It was just right there.
Oh man, I wasn't even there.
Marvin Harrison Jr., DJ Moore, franchise left tackle, a quarterback who is now going into year 4. He thinks you believe in him now, and he's got weaponry surrounding him. He's got more of an infrastructure now. He's got more of a vision. He's got a new offensive coordinator. Let Justin Fields do his thing in Chicago. Not saying he's great, but I think he can be pretty good if you stick with that plan. No, I'm not starting over with that.
Yeah.
Like, how long am I going to keep playing this game? I don't think you can go wrong.
I don't think you can go wrong accumulating more assets. I think it's when you pick the wrong quarterback. That's when you're regretful. But if you have a plan, a blueprint, and that's just to keep, maneuvering up and down the draft board and collecting assets to build a complete team with, I don't think you can go wrong doing that. I really don't. Sidebar, for those of you who may care, I pulled Michael Holley into a dynasty league, and we were able to select our draft position for the startup draft, and the inverse is your position for the rookie draft. Michael Holley couldn't wait to pick 115 in the startup, so he can get 102 in the rookie draft and take Marvin Harrison, who may or may not be there. He's like there's a lot of super flex leagues taking Marvin Harrison at 101. I'm just letting you know.
Hey, there's so many.
There
are so many stories. There's so many stories of guys through the years, coaches having flip outs in the war room when things don't work out the way they thought they would. Oh, you want to see a straight up adult temper tantrum. Let one of these jokers take Marvin Harrison Jr. before I do. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to lose my mind. Hey, this is all very carefully thought out. This is carefully constructed. That's the plan. Okay? There ain't no backup plan.
All right. That's my plan. Look, I appreciate your passion because, you kind of been checked out of the league. There's a lot of activity you ain't been a part of. But that's a conversation.
Can I tell people?
We'll talk on the phone. Okay, go ahead.
No, I got to tell people this real quick. Okay, now, I was in Vegas just trying to do my job. I'm trying to do my job in Las Vegas, Super Bowl week.
Holding down the show. Holding it down solo.
And I appreciate it. I love the opportunity to stand there. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Okay. All right. It's cool. It's all good. But I'm trying to interview people and trying to set up things, doing my TikToks, doing all the social stuff. And every time I check my phone, I got 22 I'm like, what? 22 messages? And it's this Michael Smith inspired league where these guys are going back and forth about draft picks and trades and
we are degenerates.
The cap.
We are degenerates. It is no place for beginners or sensitive hearts.
How about
turn off the
notifications? Bring it full circle.
Yeah.
I muted you.
There you go.
I got to unmute you. You're still
you muted the conversation. You didn't unfollow us. You didn't leave the league. You just muted it.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.